brothers and sisters, welcome. The chairman has asked me to address briefly the issue of derivation. And I'm happy to do so. I want to start by commending the federal military government, which in the Constitution instituted a minimum of 13% as derivation for mineral producing areas. But when you look at the issue of mineral producing, I think the Niger Delta is the only mineral producing area. There may be some other parts of the country that are producing a few minerals, but they are negligible in relation to the revenue of the nation. So I want to I want to thank the military for instituting the 13%. And I want to thank them for stating in the Constitution that it was a minimum. They recognized that it was a minimum.
Radio. Bluetooth mode.
They could very easily have said 100% derivation. They could have said 80%. They could have said 60%. But they said 30%. But a minimum. That was in 1999. That's more than 27 years ago. I feel sorry that after 27 years, the nation has not seen fit to increase that minimum. Even though the problems of the Niger Delta, the problems of environmental degradation are 100 times worse today than they were then. So I want to appeal. We have been making this appeal. We will go on making it to the President, to the National Assembly, to the governors, to the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission, that the time has long since passed when they should increase this minimum. The last time we were here, I appealed to the government, and it is the federal government that go and study the problem of environmental degradation in the Niger Delta, study it and solve it.
This press briefing is a follow-up, an addendum, and to re-echo the resolution of our leaders of Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum, SMBLF, which took place on Tuesday, 24th March 2026 at Pandef Secretariat, Matama, Abuja, on the state of the nation. To be precise, they look to the upcoming 2027 election and zoning formula. It will resolve and advise of our leaders and this House that the southern part of Nigeria should produce the next president of Nigeria till 2031, and that all political parties should zone their presidential candidates to the south. So far, the APC seem to have demonstrated this feat, and overture, we therefore call on all political parties to do same for the sake of equity, justice, and peace. Talk about security. While commending the effort of our armed forces at tackling head-on the spate of insecurity in the country, the government should take the recommendation of most Nigerians for the creation of a state police as top priority and serious, long overdue, while we kick against the continued amnesty program, the integration of terrorists, bandits, Boko Haram, and known criminals into our communities and society. On the issue of the restructuring, which I have mentioned here, our leaders call on the federal government of Nigeria, led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to revisit the agenda of restructuring of Nigerian state, as it remains the most pragmatic policy in moving Nigerian state forward to compete favorably among community of nations.
Vice President Gregory, and lady retired. Chairman has spoken very well. The Prince too, Prince of me.
My bookie.
Yes, has spoken very well. And I'm in great support of what they have said. Mine just to add something, or probably come from a different angle. Personally, I'm not good at begging, really. It's not that I'm proud, I'm not good at begging. So Niger Deltas, we've been begging for the past 20-something years to increase the so-called 30% and so
of the presidency. And one way or the other, they are playing with the lives of the Niger Delta people. They don't want to pay the gas flare penalty to the Niger Delta. So I use this medium to call on the federal government of Nigeria, Mr. President, our father, that he should instruct the Minister of Finance, Mr. Wale Edun, also the CBN Governor of Central Bank, to release our gas flare penalty money that the oil companies have paid into the account of CBN. This is a classified information. That is number one. Number two, I want to bring to the notice of Mr. President concerning the Petroleum Industry Act, which is PIA. That PIA should be paid to the host communities of Nigeria producing oil and gas. And National Assembly should deem it fit to now do the bill and the law to favor the host communities of Nigeria producing oil and gas, because we are the owner of this proceed. Instead of making the oil companies the landlord and we the landlord being under the OIC. I strongly believe if the 10th Assembly go deep and overturn that law, let the host communities of Nigeria be the one that are benefiting from their God-given wealth. I strongly believe by doing this, there will be peace in Nigeria. And if they are still playing, I'm speaking as a woman, because it's the women of Niger Delta we are suffering. Our children are suffering. Women, is it not so? Yes. Women, is it not so? Yes. The women are suffering. Our children are suffering. Let the right thing be done. Yes. Let our gas penalty be paid to host communities of Nigeria producing oil and gas. And let Petroleum Industry Act also be paid to host communities of Nigeria producing oil and gas. I raise my case.